Hi and welcome to the latest game testing session of the Imperial Elves for free planes by epicwargaming.com, and I thought we'd start today on this print. This is what all the elves on foot are going to look like. Different weapons, different colours, but generally this is the general print here. Anyway, moving on, we're game testing the enforcers again today, but I'm pretty happy with how they're working out. They're a really hard troop for the elves, but yeah, I'm quite happy with how they're working out. The next thing we're going to be game testing is two new disciplines, destruction and base magic. Destruction's pretty much done. Base magic, this is the second week in. Really overpowered last week, so I've scaled it back, but generally yeah, it performed pretty well today. Also, we're going to be looking at the new templates for free planes. Traditional templates just don't work well for free planes, and I feel they can be a bit confusing anyway. So what I've done is I've divided up the templates into different sectors, and actually visually it works very well, and I'll show you what I mean later on whilst I'm game testing free planes or the Imperial Elves. So yeah, today it was Trish, he played the Elves, and what's his name? Matty, he was playing the Orcs, and both sides had 3,000 points each, so it was a 6,000 point game, which is the biggest game we've ever had. They used a random terrain generator, this is what they got. This is what it transferred into. You know, we've got wood there, two largish hills, another hill in the middle, some houses. Yeah, generally it looks more cluttered than it actually is. We've got a nice big open space there where most of the action is going to take place. This is what it looked like once we were all set out. Trish's forces, the elves, had the highest soldiering, so the orcs had to set out first, and Trish chose to go first as well. Talk about what we've got here. We've got the enforcers there. You can't see them. They're on the. We'll go back to the last slide. There we've got the helms there, the Imperial helms. We've got all these are the watch. They're all armed up with halberds. Some are spearmen. We ran out of watch. There's the Solus, and there's Trish's dragon. On the other side, we have. They're all saws. Matty chose to have all elite units of saws, and here they are. And of course I don't have 160 odd saws knocking them out, so we had to use normal grunts to fill in. But yet saws are just nasty, and as it's a saw army, I should really talk about a saw. On average, a saw basic costs about 16 points. It has 3 attacks, one for being elite, one because it's just there, one because it has an additional arm weapon, but on top of that they do poisoned attacks as well, and poison is pretty nasty. It's not like Warhammer where you get it wounds automatically. It actually comes in, and the more you poison a gaming piece, the more it comes in. And as you have all these saws here, each front has 30 attacks, all with 30 poison attacks. It's going to be a big factor in today's game. So yeah, there's another side of his army, but I have to say I did think Matty's army was really unmanoeuvrable. As you can see here, the dragon flew in Trish's first turn and blasted them with fire. There was nothing really much you could do about that. The elves were starting to move round here, already encircling. As you can see, the dragon, the helms there, really hard, these units, but really unmanoeuvrable. And as you can see, they're very slowly getting encircled here. But again, these units are 650 points each roughly. They're hard. They're not going to go down without a fight today. As the orcs first turn, they're just surging forward. Those orcs didn't try and charge that dragon. They're just sitting at the base. They're just ignoring the dragon at the moment. The dragon, look, it's just charged straight. This is the whole point of having a manoeuvrable army over a slow brick army here over the saws. The dragon has just flown straight into the hag, and there's nothing she can do about it. That hag is dead. She can't even run away because she'll just get run over if she did. The helms are now just jostling in position behind the saws. It's not looking good for the saws at all. But again, these units are really hard. Really hard. The elves are sort of, moving forward. They move the hag has been eaten. She's completely disappeared. That dragon there now gets a wipeout move, and it goes, when it decides to load up, it goes roughly here, as you can see, right behind the Saws. That's really bad news for Matty's army, is that? But this is the price you pay for having a really mega hard army, but really unmanoeuvrable. As you can see, the Saws have engaged the Solus. They're going to get ripped to pieces. They're really just cannon fodder. Absolutely no way in a match for these guys here. Yeah, you can see a template in play there. Tumbling Skies. Trish cast a spell there. Very powerful spell, but usually misses. The dragons here, toasting these units here. Actually hitting a hag as well, but it doesn't kill the hag. She's okay. Look, the hag has had enough. She actually starts running off there. Hags are cowardly. As we can see now, we're getting into a bit of action. This is the first time the Enforcers and the Saws have ever met two elite units battling it out. Both sides actually do quite well against each other, as we'll see later on. So now it's all kicking off. Everybody's just sort of moving into combat slowly. Look at this. Look at the damage. I think the Enforcers come out here on top because in the first round of combat they've got a magic banner there. The Lion Standard gives them an extra one. But they've also got, you know, great blades, or what you call it, great weapons, or whatever you call them. So they do massive deductions to the Saws army. And that's why they really come out there. But the Saws do overlap them, and that does go to their favour for that combat. Don't really matter though, because that dragon's flown into that unit. So they're in a lot of trouble, them Saws there. There's no two ways about that. A lot of trouble. But then again, that Saw is going to get attacked by about 22, you know, poisoned attacks there. So there's a good chance that dragon could get killed there, you know. Look at the damage there. Look at all them dead Saws that just got ripped to pieces. And I have to say, they nearly killed that dragon. They poisoned it a few times as well, you know. So that dragon's didn't exactly get away unscathed there. Those Saws obviously wouldn't have survived and didn't survive. They ran off. But they did poison the dragon, I have to say, and they did do a lot of damage to these Enforcers. So they didn't go down without a fight. The dragon's now taking its extra 2-inch move there, just getting into position to choose its next target. This is the middle of the battlefield, everyone's locked in. Now this looks quite good for Matty, because these are two elite units, the two quite mundane units really. Better than average, but no match for Saws. Each unit, remember, has 30 attacks to their 10 attacks. You know, they're going to very quickly cut them down. Now you might be wondering where the dragon is. The poison actually killed the dragon. There was a 1 in there. Well, I suppose there's a 1 in 3 chance that could happen, and it did, and it just killed the dragon. So the dragon the dragon did its job, but it didn't get away unscathed, and that's what happened there. And as you can see, the hero's being left there. But on with the game. You don't like a little thing like a dragon, you know, getting killed, get you down. He jumped into this unit here of Enforcers and started to lead them instead. Sorcerer's blasting, you know, fiery breath. That's a new spell, by the way. Again, this is at the other side of the battlefield where things look much better for Matty, because these guys are no match for these Saws at all. These poor Watch here, they're just getting massacred. Oh, they run off as well. Look at the poison. You can see the poison piles there, because every time you get poisoned you put 1 poison card, and then you roll at the start of each new turn. Each one means an automatic fatal hit on these guys, so there's more damage to come for them. The hag charges in at the sorcerers. Now that might look on the face of it like a really stupid move, but it's not, because the hag is completely immune to magic, and the sorcerers, as she can only make magical attacks, can't actually hurt that hag at all. So eventually that hag will kill that sorceress. She'll hit her, overcome a save, and then fatally wound her. So that's not, and she can't cast magic, so that's a good move by Matty. Again, you can see the Saws there overpowering that unit down there. Look at that. Mind you, on the other side it's looking quite good for the Elves. They've got the Enforcers, they're finally moving into position. You've got these helms here, they've engaged the Orcs. But that is still these units are still really hard and still got a bit of fight left in them. Bang, they're in now. Now you'll notice that that is the Orcs round counter, and they are absolutely shattered now. They are absolutely shattered. So it's -1 to the save. The Orcs also have -1 to hit. So they're going to really struggle there now. They've had it. And the General's in there as well, the big bull General. And he's looking a bit dangerous for the Orcs there. And this is another thing, an advantage for the Elves. They've got better soldiering. So they're reforming up into, you know, smaller, more compact units against the Orcs to make them stand a better chance. Matty tried to do it, he just couldn't do it. Well, these guys couldn't do it because they're locked in combat from all different ways, but, you know. Yeah, the Sorceress explodes, that's a temporary extra use for that, that's a new spell. Yeah, those Orcs just died, and what was left of the watch, you know, overran them. These Helms here decided to use their extra move just to get into position to attack that hag there, hassling that Sorceress. As you can see, these guys here have reformed. These Sorcerers tried, but they failed their soldiering check for it. As you can see, these guys have now smashed into that other unit, which destroyed that other watch unit. They're in trouble. And really now it's just a case of mopping up for the Orcs, because the Orcs now have fought on round after round after round, about 6 rounds. They're all absolutely shattered. They can't fight on anymore. And so the Elves, with them being fitter, generally fitter in combat, they just do, and that's the end of the game really. And here are the points. As you can see, Matty lost 3,134 points, whilst Trish lost 1,190.5 points. So Trish won by 1,316.5 points. So well done, Trish. It was a really good game, and actually with how the game was played as well, I've had to make one adjustment to the Ark and the Alancians list, so it was a really good game test, and that'll come out in the next update of the lists. So yeah, it was really good. All the magic performed really well. I didn't think anything was overpowered or underpowered. The Enforcers did what they should have done. They should have just got the best of the Saws, and they did. The Saws did really well killing that dragon. So it was the first time I've seen poison really do what it's meant to do with its attacks. Yeah, and that's it really for today. So well done, Trish. Commiserations, Matty, but you played a really good game, Matty, and you did actually test, you know, the rules, and a little modifications being made now because that's so well done there. That's what I'm looking for out of my game testers, and I'll see everyone next week. So that's me from epicwargaming.com, Dave. See you next week. See ya.